Seren Valor. It could be a symbolic figure embodying a character who possesses both calmness and courage in the face of challenges. This person could be a warrior who remains composed in battle, making decisions with clarity while showing immense bravery, or a leader who handles crisis with serenity, staying focused and unshaken under pressure while demonstrating courage in making difficult choices. Just to make it clear, it's a poetic or symbolic term and has no established origins. Max Verstappen, also known as the Gamer Boy or the Sid from the Ice Age, is a Seren Valor. He's fighting at multiple fronts this season. Normally, a F1 driver is focused on how the car is set up, how he can get the maximum out of the car during the quali and the race. It's him and the machine versus the entire grid, but not for a certain F1 driver. Not for Max Verstappen. You see, Max in the troubled world of Formula 1 lives in the noisiest and the most toxic team of all time. Before the season started, there were mails and compromising details and chats of Christian Horner all over the internet. Some member of the Red Bull team mailed the Google Drive link to multiple F1 journalists in February. Now, this particular person could be on the payroll of either Pumpernickel Citophile or Fat Brown or the Godfather himself. People will say I am being very insensitive towards the victim here, but we will come to that. So chats and allegations of misconduct by the Horny comes out, including an alleged picture of his VV. Now I saw the picture and it looks like a finger.
Why are you gay?
I will let you guys decide on that. At this moment, the team got divided and it should. There were strong reports of rift between Team Game Boy and the Horner squad. Jos Verstappen, who himself has had history of domestic violence, he himself has come out, ironically, and has said that he is not a big fan of Christian Horner, and they have had their own Big D showdown during the Austin Grand Prix.
आठ इंच से बड़ा है भाई उसका, that's it. अरे
Fuck Gill, 8 इंच से जीता है. Fuck. Sorry.
Now, one of the major members of the team, the Aero God Adrian Newey himself, decides to leave the team mid-season and moves to Aston Martin, who are building their own regime. If you look at the history of Aero God, he's always left the teams whenever they have entered their era of turmoil. Williams in the early and mid-90s were dominating, but they had their set of turmoil because of the tragic death of Ayrton Senna, RIP. Jonathan Wheatley, another key member of the team who was the sporting director of this team, will be leaving at the end of the year and has already started with his gardening leave. Red Bull Racing is known for its fast pit stops. They have had the fastest pit stops in the last 4 to 5 years, and one of the major members of the team, Lee Stevenson, has left very early in the season. Now let's not forget what that reason could be. Then we come to his teammate, Sergio Checo Perez, who should be retiring at this moment. I get the feeling he'll be one of the major reasons for Trump coming back.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice.
We had a moment in the race during the Austin Grand Prix weekend when he was struggling to overtake Franco Colapinto on fresher tires, a fellow Latino who was in a Williams.
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Coming back to the Gamer Boy, he's facing problems everywhere, and by the way, the allegations against the Honor were completely unproven in the International Tribunal, or we can say the internal investigation committee inside the Red Bull. Now there are WhatsApp chat screenshots mentioning that the lady in question was involved in below the belt texting with Horner. Red Bull have lost their edge. They were the fastest till April 2024. Now they are the third fastest team if you consider the lap timings from the recent Grand Prix. With all this storm around him, the Gamer Boy is trying to hold up against Pando Porres in a faster McLaren on the track. If this wasn't enough, there comes the FIA, who wants to go all woke mid-season for some stupid reason. The Gamer Boy used some cuss words mid-press conference, and as a result of it, he was asked to do community service.
Went into qualifying, I knew the car was...
Thank you, Max. Let's watch our language going forward.
You will swear anyway.
Excuse me? We are talking about a 26-year-old grown-up man, a 3-time Formula 1 champion, who's been asked to do community service now because he used the F word in the press conference. And then The FIA comes with another blockbuster statement this last week stating the usage of the device to adjust the height of the driver's seat or the cockpit during parc fermé won't be allowed, and now every team had to comply with it. Now the FIA or the F1 hasn't mentioned the names of the teams, but the rumors around the grid states it's the drinks company who was doing the illegal work. I don't want to get into the technicalities of the device, but it actually gets a great advantage during the race. The point of the matter is, he's been handicapped again now, and he's now ready to take on the world. You see, that's my Seren Valor.
You are gay. You are a transgender.
मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मुझे नहीं फर्क पड़ता, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Coming to the Austrian Grand Prix after a month-long break. First of all, I don't get the F1 calendar in general. We had a summer break from July end to August end, and now again we had another break from mid-September to mid-October. Now, in order to compensate the time lost, this organization has introduced 3 triple headers in a single season. At the Texas US Grand Prix, most of the teams were figuring out their updates and Max Verstappen wins the sprint. We move to the main qualifying. Perez fails to qualify once again for Q3.
That wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
Lewis Midfielden fails to even make it past Q1. Norris then sets the fastest lap in Q3. Max tries to and had hit the first purple sector when Osama bin Russell dusts the October 7 into the barriers. Norris gets the pole, and like most of the sane F1 fans, we knew what was coming up on Sunday. The race starts and Pando Porras borders the pole for the 1,000th time this season. Charles Leclerc somehow goes through again and develops a good lead over Max Verstappen. Lewis Wash Milton somehow slides into the gravel trap and is DNF. I mean, this is a disastrous weekend for Team LH. They had nothing to rely or tweet for their Pookie. This was a disastrous week for him. First, his old friend got accused of grievous crimes against the humanity. His updates at Mercedes failed terribly. He fails to qualify even for Q2. And then he goes into the gravel in the 3rd lap of the race. In the midst of all this, something else made an appearance: the safety car. After the safety car, which all of us had forgotten existed, Sainz eventually gets an undercut over Gamer Boy and both the Ferraris vanish into the eternity up front. The race seemed over other than a couple of overtakes here and there, especially by Osama. Fans were mostly on their way to the bed. Then Norris and Verstappen pit, and Norris with fresher tires tries to chase down the Gamer Boy. Let me be clear here. The championship contention seems completely forced now. The Nando squad needed a complete haul during the sprint weekend, which he had missed already, and which in turn meant increased pressure. He wanted it, he wished for it, and Max gave it to him. They duel around for 7 laps and eventually Pando somehow almost gets it on lap, but Max pushes him out and Pando Porras somehow gets the overtake done outside the track. They go on to finish the race, but Pando gets a 5-second penalty and drops to the 4th position. Another weekend, another bottle job by McLaren and Pando Porras. The Seren Valor survives again, and we now move to Mexico, beyond the wall.
You don't try to build a wall. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall.